Are there risks in real estate? Absolutely. This picture that you see here is 62 Walnut in River Rouge, Michigan. The first real estate investment property that Adrian Mays, Enika Gaines, we invested our time and efforts in regards to growth and opportunity. But today we're going to talk about 4 reasons why everyone should own rental property. This picture here shows you the validity of why I'm speaking from experience. I'm not speaking just off the top of a PowerPoint presentation, because again, there's value in regards to rental property. Is there risk? Yes, there's risk in real estate. There's a risk in everything that you do, but knowledge can limit that amount of risk dramatically. And that knowledge can help you to learn more about how to buy real estate, the proper steps in regards to real estate, understanding how to manage a property correctly, how to get in the right area, answering those questions that you don't know what you don't know. But the key thing is over time, like the property that I showed you here is literally from 2008, when the first rental investment property that Adrian Mays invested in. But you don't want to be afraid of it. You have to live and understand that the wealthiest people in the world have invested in real estate. Now, let's define what real estate is and understanding that process in itself. As real estate can be a single family home, a multi-family home, a duplex. It could be a commercial building. It could be a storage unit. It could be a mobile home, a commercial building. It could be a 1-story building, a 2-story building, a 5-story building. It could be an apartment building. It could be even raw land by itself, but mainly what you want to realize about real estate, it's an income producing property that could be something like an Airbnb in 2024, or even a VRBO, vacation rental BO, or even if you checked out a few weeks ago, went over renting out a room. It could be a duplex. It could be college housing. It could literally be low income housing, mother-in-law apartments, multiple rooms in one home, converting your own home to real estate, a barn dominium, a tiny house, a container. All of these things are real estate, my friends. And sometimes you have to realize that it might be good to have your real estate dreams and understand the importance of the 4 things that we're going to talk about in regards to why everyone should have a rental property. It's something that the value of the transaction that you may have to partner up with at first, maybe in regards to one person bringing in the money, or the 401k, the IRA, the cash, one person bringing in the good credit, and one person bringing in the knowledge. And that's what the education portion that's no one can take away from you in regards to the risk that's tied to this. But there's risk in everything. So if a person finds a great deal, everyone's bringing something to the table, and then to make the transaction happen. That is literally what a 0% of nothing is nothing. But if you put your hands in your pot, 20% of something is better than 0. So your end goal, yes, you want to be a billionaire like the Robert Kiyosaki and as well as Donald Trump, buying hotels or skyscrapers, but you have to learn how to crawl before you walk. It's just like during football season, understanding that you got to learn how to throw the ball in Little League before you go into the NFL and playing for the Super Bowl. I mean, the Detroit Tigers had to understand the steps to get there before they even made the playoffs. So again, doing a little education. That's what's so important about this rich dad, poor dad process. Because again, understanding that each day within building your billionaire brand with kindness, digital real estate, and knowledge, we're here to help you with these keys from Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and understanding cash flow and understanding how you can be not alone in your process. So yes, in understanding how much money you make, it's not about that, my friends. If you're really trying to build a billionaire brand, it's about how much money you keep. The time that it takes in regards to education has to be a consistent one, because again, too many people are focused on money and not on the greatest wealth. And it's right here between our ears and our eyes. We have to learn. We have to educate ourselves. We have to fail sometimes. And sometimes real estate may not work for your first investment, like I shared with you in 2008 being my first investment, then being a mortgage broker, again, with one of the top loan companies in the world, and understanding that aspect of real estate. And then understanding, again, lending aspects, you have to be flexible and opening your mind and learning. So that was from 2008 getting a real estate property, 2016 actually working as a mortgage broker and doing well, doing 20 to 25 loans per month, and then seeing different aspects, and now being in the process of being a mortgage consultant, seeing people have questions about things such as, for example, last month we talked about the tax foreclosure auction and understanding how you can grow richer in regards to real estate. The process of having your own brokerage in 2021 with being the Change LLC, that helped you learn what the good and the bad of understanding your income, your property, your assets and credit, and realizing truly what is assets. So classes, education, intelligence solves problems and produces money. Money without financial intelligence, it's gone. It's soon gone. It's not about how much money you make. I'll say it again, but you want to keep it for generations. It's the school of hard knocks. You have to consistently be in your whole process. So within doing that, if you want to be rich, you got to be financially literate. And that's what it's about going live every day at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you can learn how to crawl before you walk before you run before you sprint, and do the Boston Marathon. So if you want to be free financially, real estate, we're already in it one way or another. Building a strong financial foundation, rich people acquire assets, and the poor and middle class, they acquire liabilities that they think are assets. So an asset, like in regards to real estate, thinking about a short-term rental or fix and flips and buy and holds, these verbiage you might not be familiar with, but the key part of understanding in mortgages and understanding a mortgage consultant, helping people as a business consultant, is to help people to understand the things you can go look up. So rule number one, you have to know the difference between an asset and a liability. You want to buy as many assets as possible in regards to the growth of your whole billionaire brand, in regards to digital real estate, real physical real estate, and the commitment to build wealth over time with this. So understanding that you have to know what an asset is, that helps you to be rich. Every year you want to get a little bit better as an entrepreneur, even through your whole journey, just a little bit better every 24 hours. Yesterday, we talked about your funding strategy and understanding that fears and greed has helped us. And make sure you check that out if you missed yesterday's episode. But fear and greed is the number one thing that kind of stops us from actually building our billionaire brands within us. It's you versus you. So when you overcome that fear of consistency, you think about what an asset truly is. And an asset puts money in your pocket. A liability takes money out of your pocket. So every entrepreneur has to go through the growing pains, has to go through the frustration. I don't want to do this anymore. You give up before you give up, but you understand that it's not just about the numbers, but it's what the numbers are telling you. Education takes time and consistency. I mean, learning how to be patient with the results. That's the amazing thing with real estate. And yes, you have to understand physical, digital, doesn't matter. It's all real estate, and increasing your odds to do more things help you be less risky. So if you stop and hold yourself, buy and hold yourself in regards to your mindset, you understand it's not the words, but the story the words are telling you. Sprinting for your first real estate opportunity, it's a game, my friends. You have to crawl again, because again, understanding when you have situations happen. I can tell you in regards to my 2008 client, in regards to that, when the tenant stopped paying rent, and then having to go through that whole process of going to the courts and the eviction process. But if I would have leveraged opportunities of real estate and had 5 or 6 properties, it wouldn't have taken money out of my actual opportunity. It wouldn't have taken money out of my pocket. So if you have to understand what cash flow and understand leveraging your risk to your gain, that's the one thing that we all do wrong. I'm one as well. We admit and we understand and we grow each better within each day. So understanding your growth process, you have to keep going. That's the kicker, because you get better with the next one. So if you really want to be rich, you'll have to learn how to read the numbers, understand the process, and think that, hey, next time, maybe I'll check that tenant a little better. Or maybe I'll actually not invest in so much in regards to fixing up, in regards to having a clear eviction process, knowing the area. So these are things that you learned in the learning curve of being an entrepreneur. So building the billionaire brand, it doesn't matter in regards to you screwing up, just getting yourself back into the game. the next opportunity. That's what and no means. I was just talking to my business partner, Anika Gaines, earlier today, and understanding that, again, it might be one yes to 100 no's. But when you educate yourself along the way, you educate and get a little bit stronger, and your approach is a little bit better. And you can explain things a little bit clearer in providing those opportunities and understanding what growth and process will be for you. So the illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. I know how many times just within this past few years, and just the ups and downs, the lefts, the rights, the owning it and designing your family, your faith, your fears, your finance, and the fitness, understanding this whole process of life, of learning, unlearning, relearning, what all of life is about. But when you consistently keep going with the whole, that's how the rich become rich. Your assets, and this is a basic flow picture form in regards to Rich Dad, Poor Dad. He kind of explains what an asset is, because that's the key thing. What is an asset? What is something that is putting into your actual pocket? So how the rich think, the assets are income generating. So it's something that goes right into their income statement. Whereas the poor actually believe that it's not going right into their the poor believe that it's a liability are going to income and more expenses. So if you want to actually understand like the whole thought process of how risk works, how the real estate game works, and how the process of education work, it's understanding risk management one step at a time, taking those liabilities and throwing them into a scenario. So if, for example, if you buy a property and the property you put down $100,000 for this property, right? You're already in the game for 30%, 0 to 30% down, because now you realize there's different ways that you can monitor and leverage those risks. So in that example, what goes up in the four things in the real estate investment is understanding the financial growth, the appreciation, the mortgage reduction, your tax advantages, and cash flow. Those are the four things that everyone is already in the game with. It doesn't matter if you even sign up and watch or read one Robert Kiyosaki book. If you're living somewhere, you're already in the game, because you're either paying rent to someone, or you're paying a mortgage, or if you have it for free, you have land. The great thing about raw land, and that's what I told Anika in regards to just the process of growth, land on average increases 6.74% every year. Doesn't matter, just for the dirt. Doesn't matter what I put on it. Doesn't matter about the house and everything within it. So, but it's not guaranteed, it's on average. But some houses in some areas will appreciate better and appreciate less. But what you want to do is have a diversification of your whole portfolios. So appreciation, like I shared with you, it's just the land alone, going up in value, adding value to your investment, having your return on investment increase over time. So in buying and holding this, and so in other words, it's not like a fix and flip type situation like a lot of people do within the first 12 months. You know, that's the whole idea with appreciation. The second thing is your mortgage reduction. Owning a property for mortgage reduction. So that's where I was sharing with you, not having that one tenant instead of having several tenants. So in other words, over time, this leads to decreased debt, because they're going to end up paying the bills for you with their monthly process. Think about it. Somebody that actually pays their rent, they work harder for you to get their house rent paid for versus the things that they need to do themselves. And so in regards to understanding the number third, the tax benefits. So you can leverage this in regards to even looking into other opportunities, your property taxes, your depreciation, and even strategies about like selling with a 1031 exchange. These are things that can defer your tax investment in properties and maximizing your returns over the long term. And then number four, we have to look at your cash flow. So the consistency of cash flow every single month, your bank account going up. That's what you see in regards to cash flow, whether the market goes up or down. Someone paying rent to you, that on the 1st of the month or the 15th of the month, they're consistently paying that income, but you're going to have risks. You're going to have scenarios. You're going to have life that happens. You're going to have COVID that happens, but you have to start harvesting your profits and sell at some point. But then that's not going to be a fix and flip. That's going to be your buy and hold when you want to keep it between 5 to 7 years. So understanding how this whole game, the practical steps of how to get started, it's education, getting in the game. So if you have literally a rental property, or if you're renting out a house, an Airbnb, having something long-term. That's the step in regards to getting in the game to understand how to do this. The right property might be a multifamily unit. It might be a commercial building. It might be a short-term rental, but education is the key thing. I mean, it's no one-stop shop in regards to building this whole mindset of change in 2024. Think about it. If I started this whole game in 2008 and all the ups and downs of my life for the last 16 years, you could become more knowledgeable. You start to grasp and understand that the cookie cutters along the way, you can understand how to manage a property a little better. More questions to ask in regards to your tenants, looking at the land in different ways, and understanding that repairs are going to happen and how to actually assess those repairs. So partners, the key partner is partnering with people like the CCC Because We Care Foundation and being the change because we truly care about being the change. We're in the game with you. Building your billionaire digital real estate brand, building your billionaire brand, period. And your vision, you can share the responsibility of risk, of capital, of opportunities with our larger ventures by just showing up for yourself. So the great thing is just the importance of ongoing education. It doesn't stop with just reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad or Robert Kiyosaki. It doesn't stop with getting AI, being an AI genius and understanding how Billy has helped with the whole AI, Billy Jean has helped out with the whole AI branding and introducing to something new with automation and AI and understanding the digital real estate pieces of this. But it doesn't matter how you go about it. You have to take one day at a time and have a long-term perspective. Because again, if you're building a billionaire brand, you don't want to make $1 million in 1 year and then lose it next year. Like in regards to our professional athletes, they have a 3.74 years in regards to averages that they keep their money. And then it's up for grabs. And why is that? It's because if you focus in on one thing and don't diversify and are consistent in your craft of building your mindset, it's great to have your physical, but that mental is something amazing. So some of these things in regards to just even understanding the education part, looking at Renatus, I was, as a real estate investor, like listening to how they break down different tax strategies, how they look at the different education portfolio, how they're actually helping people grow in regards to real estate investing. You got to go listen. You can't be afraid to learn what you don't learn, but you do your due diligence and you see that millions of dollars, if not billions of dollars, have been provided with this different types of education. They have courses, they have opportunities, they have free things on YouTube. There's no excuses, my friends. That's the key thing with understanding growth. So hopefully, like I said, we're going to put a copy of this into the Random Acts of Kindness community and post any questions you may have to help you grow and build in regards to your billionaire brand. As again, the whole aspects of building billionaire digital real estate with as a genius, right? The genius part is knowing that I'm bespoke, I'm unique, being consistent and showing people what's possible. But within that, the consistency and what happens with the end goal, how you end up, what happens with your billionaire brand, it's on you, my friends. No one can change you but you. But if you really want to be rich, it's not about the dollars in your bank account, but it's about the knowledge that you provide to yourself, and just give yourself a little bit grace and to keep going within each and every day. Hopefully you enjoy day 149 of the billionaire journey of Adrienne Mays with Mortgage Mastery Monday. Tomorrow we're going to go into Tax Savvy Tuesday, looking into different strategies that can help you build your billionaire brand. I mean, again, with tax-free wealth and wanting to find ways to leverage this world in regards to passive income versus active income, understanding how the billionaire actually grow. What can you do with your current situation to make change? You got to show up. You got to show up for you. It's not just about paying money to someone to take care of your taxes or your insurance or your mortgage. The key thing is you being consistent in your game and understanding that you can grow every single day. How do the rich, what's the number one rule about rich? What do we really learn about this whole process? It's not how much money you make, my friends. It's how much money you keep. Doesn't matter if you're making 6 figures right now. How much work are you putting in to make that 6 figures? How much time and effort, but growth and opportunity, it's there for you. But again, chime in with Adrienne Mays every single day, live at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, here to bring you just the perspective, the growth opportunities, and join the Random Acts of Kindness community, going to idea.cccwecare.com. As we continue to grow and build our entrepreneurs and provide opportunities of just replays of this live, questions that may have come up, or even just your own perspectives in regards to your growth of your brand. So hopefully you enjoyed Mortgage Mastery Monday. I gave you an opportunity to understand the 4 reasons why everyone should have rental property. You're already renting. You're either renting or you're buying. So you're either involved in someone else's portfolio or you're involved in your own. And so therefore, understanding what that means, that's what the game is about. But it takes you versus you, my friends. The whole process is you have to keep going and knowing the end goal, the end results is nothing but the best you that you can provide. So hopefully you're able to get some value out of this video here today. And again, I can't wait to see the comments as well as you jumping into the community to provide some questions and being the change because we care. Your financial education matters. I can, I will, I must. Let's go. Deuces.